listening to Jaime's Local Love, the podcast, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.
Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Jaime Soretta. On this podcast, we discover everything local and everything Arizona. You know, what you put in your body is so important. And there are a lot of kids, a lot of people out there with food allergies. And that puts them in a different situation when it comes to what they eat and where they eat. So I want to introduce you to the couple that I know as Momma Lisa and Chef Ned of Intentional Foods. Hello, you two.
Hi, Jaime.
Thanks for being here with me.
Thank you for having us.
We met some 5 years ago. Intentional Foods started. Tell me about why you started this restaurant.
Well, Intentional Foods, I like to say, is our reaction to our daughter's reaction.
Oh.
When she was in preschool, we had a really severe scare that we knew she had allergies, didn't understand the severity of them. It ended up with us at the ER after fumbling many times and getting yelled at by the ER doctor on how close we were to lose our daughter. And that was just a really big wake-up call for us about the life-threatening nature of food allergies. So a little bit later, 6 months later, we thought we had a great handle on it, went out to eat at a place that the allergy community all pretty much said was a safe place. The manager came to our table, assured us that they had a menu for our daughter. We ate, and as we left, she went into anaphylaxis again.
Oh.
We had another EpiPen. We knew what to do this time, but so ended up at the ER again. And that was the point that we realized there's not a safe, transparent place for us as allergy families to eat. Mm-hmm. And with our background in restaurants, we decided to go for it after long nights of just kind of saying, what if? You know, what if we could? What if we could be a solution for this really big problem in our community?
Sarah was how old at this time?
She was 4 years old.
Yeah, 4 years old.
And you have 3 girls.
3 girls.
List who the girls are. Give
so
them a
I have
shout out.
Madeline, Sarah, and Ruby.
Yeah.
And Madeline is our oldest, and Sarah's our allergy baby, and then Ruby.
The other girls don't have allergies?
So Maddie and Ruby have dietary restrictions that are kind of strong sensitivities, but nothing life-threatening. But it still makes us have to cook differently, for sure.
And Chef Ned kind of referenced how you guys met with your background. You have worked in restaurants before. Take me back to Mission Beach.
Yes.
Okay, the era was early
Yes.
2000s. Yeah,
Dun, dun,
The sun was out.
Yes.
The waves were crashing. What happened next?
That was it. And then I clocked in.
Yeah.
And I saw this beautiful lady. So we have a very strong background in restaurant. We met in Pacific Beach, Mission Beach, both working on Garnett, the main drag. And ultimately, I think we were always kind of the last man standing. And we got this great friendship from there and turned into love.
Aww. Just the way Ned's looking at you, Lisa. I can't see the way you're looking back. But I mean, it is sweet. And you guys are celebrating 20 years together.
Yes.
Married.
Yep.
Oh, my. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And now running this business for 5 years and obviously facing life or death with your sweet daughter as such a young one. So how did you learn what exactly she was allergic to? What is she allergic to?
Yeah, so she's allergic to peanuts, tree nuts, and then gluten as well. And just at first it's just exposure. So, you know, one day she was just gnawing when she was 6 months old on her big sister's peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And then her body covered in hives. And that was our first ever reaction at 6 months. So we took her to the urgent care and they told us, oh, you know, she's got a peanut allergy. You just need to stay away from peanuts. After her other reaction when she was 4 years old, that's when we took her to an allergist and did all the testing on, you know, let's see what all her allergies are. And, you know, she had the peanuts, tree nuts, and then also just some fruit allergies. She's got kiwi and mango and some other weird ones as well. But, so we took her to the allergist, found out what her allergies are, and that's how you figure it out.
Is that the prick test, the back prick test? So she had to, oh, poor little girl, had to go through that.
Hard.
Yeah. And then what do you find is the most common or something that she's allergic to that sneaks into regular food, mainstream food at restaurants?
You know, the nuts are definitely tough because it doesn't necessarily have to be the nuts. It's also a cross contamination issue. So if someone is in the room eating nuts, she can have a reaction to that.
Yes, it can be airborne as well.
Yeah. So cross contamination is a big problem. So if a food is made next to nuts, or the oil of the allergen is in the air, it can cause a reaction as well. So there's always just chances of cross-contamination. So that's
so
the part
scary.
that's tough.
I was traveling with a girlfriend of mine. I mentioned her before we started this podcast, a former colleague of mine, and she has a nut allergy, and I was always aware of what I brought into work to snack on next to her.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we were in a truck together with some other tourists. We were touring, and someone opened up a peanut butter and jelly. And she's in the back, they're in the front. Right away, she goes, "Does someone have peanut butter in this car?" And she could feel it right away. So I didn't realize how airborne
it is.
that can be.
Yeah, it's so interesting. We were at a party one time, and we didn't know that on the table in the back room there were bowls that had trail mix in it with peanuts. And we walked in the room, and immediately my daughter just started saying, "I've got to get out of here." And she was crying, and she was just acting really off, and we didn't know
what
that was in the very rear of the party. But it's interesting, the body, they call it doomsday feelings.
Oh my.
So that's also another symptom of anaphylaxis, where you start to have doomsday feelings. You start to feel like you need to get out of there. You have a high stress, but you don't know why, but it's your body signaling you that your allergen is near and you need to get out. But
my gosh.
yeah, that was a really interesting thing to learn about. But
and peanuts are so common.
Yes.
And people are so allergic to it.
Yeah.
And cross-contamination with peanuts is really common. This is an example of just this weekend. Sarah went over to a friend's house, and what we love is when our friends embrace just our,
Keeping her alive. We just want to keep her alive and happy. Can we all do this together, maybe?
Yeah. Thank you for helping us with that.
Yeah.
So the mom had some green beans, and she said, "Hey, Sarah, can you have green beans?" And Sarah says, she advocates for herself, which is just amazing, and says, "Well, are they fresh or are they pre, frozen in a bag can?" So she said, "Well, let me see," and turns over the bag, and it says, "May contain soy, peanut, and like one other of the top 9 allergens." The cool thing about that was it was a moment of awareness for that mom to realize that it's just not the physical allergen you need to stay away from, but all these other foods that you just assume wouldn't have them that might. So it's a crazy path to navigate, and we're just so happy that we can be where we are now and see these families just, come in and go through these firsts.
So what have you done in the restaurant to make it a clear, safe place? You're the chef, Ned, we're looking at you. Lisa's looking, Momma Lisa's looking at you. What have you done to make this a clear space for most allergens?
Yeah, most allergens. Well, the biggest thing we did was right off the bat not let any of the top 9 allergens in the door. So it's not that we can accommodate special allergies. We are the place to come if you have allergies. So we don't let, and I'll list them because I love doing this part.
Go ahead, let's do it.
Clear the floor. Wrap it out.
Top 9. We got peanuts, tree nuts, soy, dairy, egg, wheat, seafood, shellfish, sesame, eyes closed, and also any form of gluten. So that's the first thing we did to keep it safe, is just not even let it in the door.
Right.
And then we don't let outside food in, which has become kind of controversial on a couple occasions. We say if you got Starbucks, if you've got formula, if you've got anything else, pets, please know this is a safe place for people with allergens. So, we take it very seriously. We're very protective of our safe space, and that's how we keep it.
Right.
And the one thing that kind of took us the longest really before we opened is we kind of created our menu, and then we started looking for the ingredients for our menu. And so with our sourcing, we look up every single ingredient to make sure that it's manufactured in facilities that are safe from cross-contamination of any of the allergens. So every vendor we work with, our salt, our pepper, our baking soda, everything has been vetted to make sure that it comes from a safe facility before it gets into our kitchen.
And I know you did a lot of that research.
Yeah.
So Lisa's got the ingredients.
Yes.
Now Chef Ned needs to come up with something
That's right.
delicious because we want it to be
Exactly.
delicious where the entire family will come.
Yeah.
Where the other family members don't say, "Oh, we have to go eat where our
Exactly. That's
sibling
right.
can eat tonight."
Yeah.
We want to please all the palates. So how did you do that?
Well, we started cooking like we cooked at home. And what's kind of crazy is it's kind of freeing to have a structure that you know you can't go outside of. So Momma Lisa will say, hey, here's what I've vetted, here's what you got. And then from there, we just kind of get creative together. You know, I'm the guy physically putting it together, but without the input from Lisa and her insight on it, then, you know, it wouldn't be what it is. So we really kind of got simplified. So just by not having those allergens, we go fresh. We go with, local type stuff that we built from the scratch up. So we found a lot of success with our hacienda hash, which is the sweet potato based. We make our beans in-house, our salsa fresca, our jalapenos in-house. We've got our lemon garlic aioli, dairy-free, egg-free, for those that may want to know. And we have this thing called the Rotner fries. I don't know if you're familiar with those at all.
I mean, yes, drooling right now.
That one's Jamie's
DoorDash. So why are they called the Rotner fries? What's on it? Give me the lowdown for
Okay,
everybody.
you want the real story
Yes,
behind the Rotner fries?
of course I want the real.
Okay.
This is a podcast. We can say what we want. I hear.
All right. So Lisa's dad got wasted one night.
And
Oh,
That's Papa
how does
Rotner.
Lisa's dad feel about this? Hi, Lisa's
We'll
dad.
find
He's a
out.
good
Hi,
time.
Pops.
Well, he's also my best friend.
Yeah,
so.
okay. He just got a little happy.
Hanging out with his
So he-
favorite Scotch
yeah.
buddy.
Yes,
So he had a
okay.
great night,
Yes,
we'll
yes,
say.
yes, yes.
Next day, he came in and said, Ned, you got to make me something that's going to give me that pick-me-up I
Yeah,
need after
soak this up.
Cure this hangover.
So we came up with Rotner fries. It's kind of a spin on some of the food that we grew up eating, Southern California Mexican food. And it's got our shredded carnitas, our fries, our beans. And I think that surpassed the hacienda for
Gosh,
the
oh,
probably most requested item.
Yeah, it was a secret menu item,
Oh.
and only Papa would have it, and then everyone in the restaurant would say, "What does he have? I want that." And so we
Yeah,
had
to put it
eventually
on.
Had to
slap
do
it on
it.
that menu.
What are you
Yeah.
guys doing with the beans? I feel like your beans are so delicious over there. What are you doing different?
Yeah, I'm just using good beans, using RO water, Himalayan salt, letting time do its work, putting that love into it. I mean, it's real. Everything we do has a very simple thing so that you can really taste the ingredients. We're not trying to mask anything. Transparency as a business model is what we are as well. What we know firsthand is if we are an allergy family, but if we go out somewhere to eat, we just want a straight answer. We don't want to, yes, we have it, but we should be able to work around that allergen. We appreciate restaurants that have allergens and stand behind the fact that they do. Because transparency is king. So that is, first and foremost on what we do. We want to make sure that people come out. We get people with other allergies as well that aren't top 9 that we may have in the kitchen. And what I try to do is come out and talk to the child and the mom and just say, hey, I'm going to be personally cooking your food, because there's a lot of fear in our community of trust. So, rightfully so. The experience we had at a restaurant, we did call back and say, hey, can you help us figure out what happened? And, they were nice enough to tell us that there was nut in the seasoning that they put on the fries, that they hadn't looked deep enough into it.
They
so,
didn't realize it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a ingredient binder at our cashier area, so if anyone wants to know what's in any of our sauces, any of our seasonings, anything, it's
Any
right
of our
there,
warm
so they
churros.
Warm
can check it
churros.
out.
I think about now people want to know where you're located. So tell us where you're located, how we can find you.
We are in Mesa in the pavilions on Dobson and Guadalupe.
Okay. And then what are your hours? Are you doing breakfast, lunch?
Yeah, so we are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. and closed Sunday, Mondays.
Okay. So you need a break because you guys are there a lot.
We are
You have
there a
picked up
lot.
some boys
We
since
are
I
there
since
a
I
lot.
mentioned probably 5 years ago. I probably met you
Yeah.
about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Been in business that long. You also have been up to a lot lately.
Yes.
So you mentioned Dad Rotner, Papa Rotner.
Papa
So we
Rotner.
know he likes his beverages. So he's gonna like it a little more over at Intentional Foods soon. Tell me what's going on.
We are launching our first bar menu, and we are so excited. We've been working with different liquor companies and really just trying to find awesome, safe booze for our peeps, and just so that they can have a beer and relax and have their fries or their tacos and just feel a little sense of normalcy. So we have a full bar, and every time we find more options, we just get so excited. But right now we have a vodka and a tequila and a
Blue
gin
Clover local.
Oh yeah, there.
Yeah.
Blue
Yep, in
Clover is
Scottsdale,
a fabulous option for us, and
Page
yes.
Springs,
Oh,
gotta give a shout out.
yes,
That's
yes,
our
local
house
too.
wine.
We love Page Springs, and they were amazing. We met the wine maker there, Eric, and he was just fabulous. It's just really making us feel comfortable and showing us, you know, everything he puts into his wines to make sure that he really wanted to be a solution for our people. So, as we add on to this bar menu, you know, it's been exciting every time. But now we've created this full cocktail menu, and we're so excited to launch that. So that's coming soon, and Papa's gonna be digging it.
Yeah, Ratner fries and a
Guest
bevy.
bartender.
Exactly.
Little tuxedo.
Put him as a guest bartender.
Oh yeah, that sounds like fun.
Gonna be great.
Celebrity
idea.
bartender night. Oh my goodness! Tell me about this hot lunch program that you launched, because this is really incredible.
Sure. Yeah. So really, with the food that we make, you know, safe and hopefully delicious for anyone that tries
Yes,
it.
yes.
Our mission of awareness is at the same level. So one of the ways to spread our awareness is just getting in wherever we can, and we've gotten into a couple local schools through their hot lunch program, so that on a weekly basis we get to deliver allergy-friendly meals. And what's cool is it's not just the allergy kids that are ordering. So we're getting orders from, you know, if you want to call them normies.
Yeah, a normie.
You know, I mean, we do nachos, we do wings, we do nuggets, we do very approachable, kid-friendly foods for it. And we're just looking for any opportunity to continue to spread the awareness.
What we love about that is on those days, you know, the cafeteria is a safer place for those kids with food allergies. And it's an opportunity for those kids with food allergies to just feel included and to be eating something just like their friends are eating. And, you know, that just fills our hearts, because those are one of those areas that's been tough to navigate as an allergy mama. So we love, you know, being able to let those kids just feel normal and get their grub on with their friends and not worry. You know, so.
Yeah, the worry must be the worst part.
Yeah, it definitely does a number on the mental for the kids and for the parents. And, you know, one thing that Ned and I, you know, talk about is, you know, Sarah with her allergies, you know, in the beginning we would say yes to different parties and different, you know, gatherings, and then you're just on, you know, high alert the whole time, and you're just navigating through this field, really. And, you know, it's scary. And so after a while we stopped saying yes to, you know, a lot of the social gatherings because it was just too stressful. And then you start to feel isolated, and you know, you feel lonely, and then your kids feel lonely.
They're not, you know, making those relationships, forging those friendships.
Yeah. So that part is tough. So one of our goals with Intentional Foods was to just give people a place where they can gather, where they can have memories and hang out with their friends. And, you know, we love when moms get to take a baby to a birthday lunch, and, you know, she doesn't have to do all the work. And, you know, we love
our first donut.
Yeah, the first donuts, or the first
kid with the first French fry.
Mm.
You know, just
and we've recently
getting
expanded
to choose
our
anything.
Yeah,
on the
choose
menu
anything on the
is-
menu.
yeah,
Yes.
I love that moment.
We've recently expanded our dining room, and we've been getting, you know, big parties, and, you know, hey, can we have a birthday for 20,
Oh
you know,
my
here with my
gosh.
child? And so that's been amazing too, is just really creating this safe space for people to just gather and that fills our
growing
hearts.
because you guys, there were scary moments just for the business.
Yes.
It wasn't too long ago we were standing outside your restaurant with that folding table, you know, for
Yep.
pickup during COVID.
Exactly.
And you guys were looking at me with wide eyes.
Yeah.
I think you were down to the two of you.
Yep.
So
Us
you're
and
working all the
Madeline,
time. Yes,
our
Madeline,
oldest.
17-year-old. Shout out to
Yeah.
Maddie.
Yeah, man.
Working so hard. And those were scary moments, but you made it.
We made it, girl.
Yeah.
That was a crazy time.
Yes,
was a crazy time.
And that was the beginning of evolution of our desserts changing at
Oh,
IF
so
too.
why?
Oh yeah, let me tell
So-
you.
Ned's, I would like the floor.
I'm gonna start this one.
Okay, let's hear.
So when we started, we didn't know anything about desserts, and we didn't even really have a plan for desserts. But we came out with one dessert, which was a chocolate donut recipe that was super easy.
You can give them my recipe.
All right. So,
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. So it was out of a box. It was a chocolate donut out of a box.
It was a chocolate
Just
brownie.
Oh, it was a brownie.
Brownie mix.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one, Sarah wanted donuts for a birthday, and I had to pull it off. So I always had to survival bake as an allergy mom.
Okay, yes.
So I used this brownie mix, poured it into a donut pan, and it worked. And I was like, oh my gosh, we
have a
we got
dessert.
something here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had that chocolate donut and started with that pre-COVID. And then the plan had always been for me to be the cook, or
Right.
else, Chef Ned doesn't make much sense if
Yes,
I'm not in
yes.
the kitchen.
We like calling you Chef Ned.
Yes, but not so much for Lisa to be the baker. So
Yeah.
she was more kind of the front of the house, make sure things are happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then COVID hit. So, plan 2
Mm-hmm.
was
Wait,
me.
you skipped the baker part.
What? did-
From the chocolate donuts to the baker.
Say the part.
Oh,
No, I
No,
hadn't,
it
I
is.
hadn't got there yet. 'cause-
Oh,
'cause
okay,
COVID
sorry,
hit.
sorry.
And then,
well, we
Then
had
what
a baker
happened?
first.
yeah, we
Okay,
did.
so we went from chocolate donuts, and then we had a baker making the chocolate donuts, and then we had another baker finally come. People would
Yes.
be like, "Do you have vanilla? Do you have strawberry?"
Yeah.
And we'd be like, "No, you're welcome.
Yes,
we have one
one.
dessert, and
That's
it's
all
a
we
chocolate donut, and that's all we have." But
That's what we figured out.
we've got it.
Something.
Yeah, it's the only thing we have, and we would
But
get
it's
so
safe, it's safe,
frustrated
it's
if
safe.
someone would say, "Do you have anything else?"
Yeah.
But I don't like chocolate. Well, that's all we have. But then we hired a baker,
Yeah.
and so she was able, to do lemon bars and to do other desserts,
Yeah.
cupcakes and things. So that was wonderful.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit.
And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So bye-bye to staff,
Bakers, yeah.
everything, even knowing what the next day held. And thus was born the Bitter Baker.
Oh, here she is. All smiles.
Baking with bitterness throughout COVID.
The beans are cooked with love. The brownies with bitterness. Perfect. I'll take one with a little salt on top.
And the chocolate donut, the chocolate brownie mix got discontinued.
No,
Yeah.
it's chocolate. That's why
Yes,
she's extra
yes,
bitter.
yes. That was it.
Oh
yeah,
no!
yeah.
So can I get one of those? Or
So-
no? Can you order them?
We
Yeah,
will bring you one.
so then we had to keep the doors open. We had
Yeah.
to keep giving.
Well, we had to keep
desserts
the
for our
doors
people.
closed, but we had to keep
Yes.
the business
Business
running.
open, yeah.
Yes. So I had to learn how to bake.
Yeah.
So every day
Oh my gosh.
I was throwing things. I was angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It
much that we
wasn't my
actually put
happy
a
place.
target up in
Oh, wow.
her kitchen.
Did you
so that-
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still
Oh, yeah,
there.
there's
we can
still a
send you a
bullseye
picture.
there.
Okay.
but
Yes,
she was
please
just-
do.
Every
If
mistake.
it didn't work,
Yeah.
I had to toss it, and maybe
Yeah.
I would get 10 points, and that would make it better.
a little bit better.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
But
That's good anger
but yeah,
management. We all needed a
exactly,
target
right?
during those
Better the
COVID
target
days.
than me.
Yes, exactly. We needed to throw something.
But it was,
Oh,
it
wow.
was, so that was all of the recipes now that we make
Yeah.
are mine. And now, God required us to have to, gain control of
Yeah.
that part of our business
And it
and
was
learn
an
it and create it. And,
Amazing time of creativity.
Yeah.
For both of us. There was so
Yeah.
much in that turmoil that just, you came up with so many of the things that we are just doing constantly.
Yeah.
I think the churro came out of it.
all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about a cinnamon roll?
Oh,
So
my goodness.
yeah, that's our
New.
newest. So we just launched those this last week, and that's something that we practice forever
Oh,
because
yeah.
we're using yeast and we're not using egg and so it's so tricky, but we finally got it. So we launched our cinnamon rolls, and our they've been selling out like crazy. It's been really hard to keep them in stock, but
That must be so fulfilling.
yeah, absolutely.
All that bitterness turned out like
yes.
gold.
Thank God for my sister Melissa. Shout out to Missy.
Hi, Melissa.
She, I trained her to bake, and so she has taken it over, and she's our head
Nice.
baker now,
Oh,
and she's
good.
phenomenal. And she's busting out those cinnamon rolls
Wow.
all day long.
Do you have to pre-order? Can you pre-order? Or no.
No pre-orders.
gotta
Nope,
show up.
You gotta show up.
Tell me about what you guys are doing in the hospitals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are working to get our food into hospitals so that allergy people have a safe alternative to the cafeteria. It's unfortunate, but allergy people may put their guard down a little bit being at a hospital, because the idea is you're at a hospital and they're going to take care of you. But when it comes to food, unless you have an advocate or unless you have something that you know is safe, you're rolling the dice, unfortunately. We after one of Sarah's trips to the ER, in order to try to get her blood back up, they gave her a fruit box, but we intercepted it. And on the back it says contains kiwi. So, it's not the allergy component of it. I don't think is forefront in the healthcare arena at this point. So what we'd like to do, of course, is introduce our food to any hospital that is looking for. I really look at it as a liability killer to, food that may not be safe for your patients. Let us come in, let us train your staff, or give you some of our frozen grab and go stuff so that you're ready next time you have an allergy person come in that has a strict diet. So we are definitely looking to get in wherever we can with the hospital chains. Anybody
how do they
that
reach
knows
you?
anybody.
If someone's with the hospital chain is listening to this, how would they reach you?
Yeah, any social, intentional foods. So any social, Chef Ned at intentionalfoods.org, Lisa at intentionalfoods.org, our website, intentionalfoods.org. I'll just keep going.
Yeah. Walk in the door, get a cinnamon roll, and ask for Chef Ned. He's probably in the back.
There you go.
Yeah, that too.
So with our foundation that we've launched,
tell me about that.
So it is the Intentional Foods Foundation. It's a 501c3 foundation, and our goal behind this is to really support the families and adults and children that have life-threatening allergies or celiac disease. So
as well as spread awareness through schools and just try to get the ear of these decision makers so that we can say, we are here to kind of give our testimony of what we went through, as well as show you how to be a safer place for people with allergies, whether or not you have allergens on campus, just simple things that we can help you institute or give you guidelines to make everyone at your school feel safer and truly be a more inclusive place.
Right.
And one of the other, just looping back to the hospital, is one of the other things we're doing with the funds is donating and delivering foods to the hospitals for people that are in need of that.
How do you have time? How are you guys are doing this?
Yeah. So and that is through the funds that we raise
incredible.
with our foundation. That's one of the other avenues.
You mentioned some prepped and frozen food. Do you have prepped and frozen food?
Oh yeah.
That people can buy there?
Yeah. So we have a grab and go in house. So if you come to see us at 1837 West Guadalupe, Suite 103, Mesa, Arizona, you can come grab enchiladas, you can grab wings, you can grab some of these things out of our grab and go, and we can also set up to get you frozen goods. So, frozen entrees and desserts, things like that. We're also pushing towards the resorts. So, anyone want to swap a staycation for some frozen food? Let me know.
They are open to trade. Monte Lucia, we're looking at you.
Yes.
Very nice. You guys have been up to so much.
Yeah, it's been a crazier. Yes.
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's so great to see you guys.
Thank you for having
us. And your food is delicious.
No
matter what. So I think that's important that people remember that when they drive by. Give me that location again, Ned.
1837 West Guadalupe, Suite 103, Mesa.
Just pull in, whether you have an allergy or not, and come try the food because it is delicious. I still think about those beans. I got to make it over there for those beans, and those Rutner fries are on my mind all the time. So it's great to see you guys. Congratulations on all that you are doing, and especially for bringing some ease to our families who have a child or a person with an allergy. That must be just a very anxious way to live, and have that safe space and even have space to do a birthday party.
Yeah, heck yeah, babe.
Momma Lisa, Chef Ned, thank you.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thanks for listening to Jamie's Local Love, the podcast. I'm your host, Jamie Serretta. Our technician is Tom Heidinger. Our editors are Lorraine Shearing and Gina Coy. Do you know a business worthy of some local love? Email me at jserretta@azfamily.com. Follow us at facebook.com/Serretta and Instagram @Serretta News. Make sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star review, please. And tell your friends about the podcast and the businesses we feature to show your local love. You can find us on Apple, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Jaime's Local Love, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast.